Hi, I'm Ash, and this is probably going to be the hardest video that I ever make. So let's get into it. As many of you may know, if you're following me on socials like Instagram, Substack, any of those places, you'll know that I'm going through a little bit of a health scare at the moment and it's not fun, but we'll get into that. I do just want to apologize for my wet hair. I had a shower and now it's air drying and I tried to tie it up and it was just annoying me, so we're just leaving it out like this, and the curls are not great at the moment because it's so short. Anyway, that's besides the point. This video is just a little life update vlog, a health update vlog, and I'm making this because I want other people to know that they're not alone, especially if they're going through some sort of chronic illness, any sort of energy limiting thing or disability. You are not alone. People go through this stuff as well. And with that being said, if you did watch my previous video, you'll know a little bit about it. But I saw my doctor last week and yeah, things are kind of scary at the moment. So what I wanted to do is I made a little post that I wanted to share with you all that kind of encompasses everything that's going on. I shared this on Facebook and Instagram as well. So this is just on my phone here. A little bit of a life/health update from me, Ash. So I wrote this last week. Everything feels just a little bit heavier today. I've been pretty open about my health struggles in the past with IBS, a slipped disc in my back, chronic fatigue, anxiety, panic attacks, and all my issues with iron and B12 deficiencies. And I want to keep being open, keep being vulnerable to show that all of us going through these situations or illnesses are not alone. I have been struggling with more health complications than usual lately, and it all feels like one big giant health scare. As we're dealing with a lot of unknowns and ambiguity, I haven't been as open as I would normally have been in the past. And I go on to say that I make this post so I don't have to individually call every single family member I want to tell, and I can put it into words that make sense. I find it easier to write, to explain what's going on, than articulating it out loud. Maybe that's why I did so well at university. I'm kidding. Before I get to the main point, I'm just going to describe a few of my symptoms I've been having lately, and these are on top of my IBS and fatigue. Dizziness upon standing with a significant increase in heart rate, pre-syncope, the feeling that you're about to pass out, fainting, more fatigue than normal to the point where I might have slept 8 hours the night before but wake up like I'm feeling like I'm hungover without having drunk any alcohol, tremors, shakiness, sinus pressure, headaches, and occasionally migraines. Exercise intolerance, insomnia, adrenaline dumps, which is like having a panic attack without there being a panic attack, chest pain that goes on and off, temperature dysregulation, and I'm sure there's a lot more symptoms, but that's just a lot to deal with right now. And according to my doctor, these symptoms line up with things like POTS, orthostatic intolerance, and dysautonomia. I don't know, there's so many big words, which are all very common in a post-COVID world. However, I've had a lot of these symptoms since I was a teenager, and I was constantly dismissed by doctors. I've had things said to me like, oh, maybe you're just underweight. And then when you gain weight, or maybe you should lose weight. It's just your IBS, you're perfectly healthy. That's just anxiety. It's just your period, and so on. I'm sure many of you will be familiar with these lines. Every time I've fainted and ended up at the emergency department, I've been given fluids, which is basically just saline, and told to go home and that I'll be okay the next day. It hasn't been until now that the doctors have taken me so seriously. On top of all this, if that wasn't scary enough, I've had an even bigger scare. With my doctor telling me my bloods have been very concerning for a long time. The answers here are still unknown, but we have to rule out a lot of the scary life-threatening things that it could be, such as an autoimmune disorder or like a blood disorder or cancer. And as this could be life-threatening, I have been referred to a hematologist and given more blood and I feel like I'm constantly being poked and prodded by medical professionals. So I'm waiting for that call. I have also been referred to a POTS specialist to help with managing symptoms and seeing what other things I can do to help combat all this. For now, I can do things like making lifestyle changes of adding in electrolytes, wearing compression socks, and adding a little bit more salt to my diet. I've also been told to monitor my blood pressure and symptoms leading up to my specialist appointments. So it's time to get on the smartwatch bandwagon, and I hate wearing a watch. Spoiler alert, I got a watch. It's pretty cool. Well, I'll show you more of that soon. Anyway, I'm also not very good at carrying my phone around with me all times, but waiting for these specialist calls, I'm doing that. Some days I just feel like putting my phone down and forgetting about it for a few hours because you just need a break from the world. And because I do have IBS, I also need to get tested for Crohn's or IBD, things like that. But that doesn't seem as scary as it did back when I was first diagnosed with IBS compared with everything else. I also want to get a walking pad for days when it's too hard to leave the house and to keep my leg strength up. For me, I've always loved exercise. I love hiking. I love going for random walks. I love HIIT workouts. So everything is just very frustrating when you're not able to do as much as you used to. And I feel like I am grieving the person I used to be. Anyway, in good news, my iron and B12 are finally back to normal levels. So we know that neither of those are causing any of these issues, and B12 deficiencies can cause POTS-like symptoms. I am trying to find the humor in all this because I know somewhere there will be some. The stand-up comedians always know how to turn these things into great laughs. I'm envious of them. I don't know if I could ever stand on a stage and be funny. I think I have more of an observational type of humor where I make a joke at just the right time. At least we do finally have some answers, just not all of them. So it's more specialists, more being poked and prodded, and more waiting. And I do feel very grateful to have my blogs and be self-employed, as well as my social media and having a super supportive partner and the best dog. If I haven't reached out to you or I've cancelled plans or haven't been as talkative as I might be, this is why. Or if I haven't shown up in the ways that I should, again, this is why, and I'm sorry. I'm not doing it on purpose. We're just dealing with a lot right now. Invisible illness isn't always obvious to others, and we don't always know what someone is going through. I myself am guilty of judging others without knowing the full story. And I go on to say, if you read this, thank you for taking the time to do so. I don't want people to feel sorry for me. I just want people to understand what it's like to go through something like this. More awareness, and for people to know that I'm okay. I'm just scared. So yeah, that's what I wrote about it. Hopefully it makes sense in vlog form. I think I'm a better writer than talk because I'm so awkward. But yeah, this is the watch I got. And it shows, it's a Garmin Venue 3S, I think. It shows the heart rate. So you can kind of see it's upside down. I can't move with the sun. Anyway, that's the heart rate. Maybe I'll show you the app that it has. So it comes with, you download an app as well for it. So there's the Garmin app, and it kind of shows you like snapshots of your heart rate, which is pretty cool. And you can wear it at night to track heart rate and like all of that sort of stuff. Your steps, obviously, hydration, calories burned, and this is not sponsored. This is just, I just think this is cool. But yeah, it is kind of annoying to wear a watch, but also helpful. And yeah, currently I am still waiting to hear from the specialists. I think it's meant to take about 2 weeks to get a call, depending on how urgent your case is. What I might do is give my doctor a call if I haven't heard anything this week and just see what I need to do if I need to call them. But yeah, that's kind of everything that's happening right now. So it's kind of a lot. I do want to keep making sociology type videos, but I also kind of want to make vlogs as well, like whether they're like just talking heads kind of vlogs like this, like life update, health update vlogs, or everyday vlogs where you see what we've been doing. But yeah, let me know what you do want. Today has been a bit of a good day symptoms wise. I've managed to go for a little walk with Benji and Luke. Yeah, and I haven't been feeling too dizzy, but I think everything's going to go up and down. My anxiety has kind of been a bit higher than normal because of all the unknowns. So yeah, I've got my therapist helping with that. I definitely got a support system, which I'm very grateful for. And yeah, I'm very grateful to have a medical team who are looking out for me. Yeah, anyway, hopefully that makes sense. Anyway, speaking of vlog stuff, yesterday morning, Luke and I decided to go out for brunch. And we went to, or breakfast really, we went to Convoy in Moonee Ponds, which is a great brunch spot. But in the weekends, they're really, really busy because of how good it is. And so we weren't sure if we were going to be able to get in on a Monday, but we did. It wasn't that busy. But they only do walk-ins, you can't book or anything. But the food and the staff are always so, so nice there. And so I'll put in some videos of that, and we also went for a walk around Queen's Park in Moonee Ponds as well, which was really nice. So yeah, I'll put in the videos of that here. And the reason why I wanted to bring that stuff up is that I want to keep making sure that I continue to live my life. Everything's kind of being put into perspective for me. I see the world in a different way, and I don't know if this makes sense, but you kind of see how the world is not accessible for everyone, and that's a problem. And you see how awful everything is going on in the world right now with like dictatorship and extremism, and it's horrible. Like, human rights are important. But yeah, and I just want to keep appreciating the little things, make sure I leave the house, keep up like my strength and keep up my fitness where I can, and just be really grateful for everything as well. And I'm losing my voice a little bit, and I have like this redness here, which when I was really little, my mum used to say I got it whenever I was 6, so that's how she would always know I was sick. So that's another fun thing. So I think I'm just gonna end the vlog here, and if I want to make everyday vlogs, I can start tomorrow or something like that, or start later. But if you did get through this video, thank you. As I said throughout this video, I just want people to know that they're not alone. Even if they feel alone, I'm here. If you ever want to talk to someone, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. Should be linked down below, just Ashy Cakes. Leave me a comment. And yeah, I kind of want to say subscribe to the channel because that's what you should do when you make YouTube videos, but it just doesn't feel right. If you want to, you can. If you don't, that's okay. I'm going to end it here, and I'm Ash, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And if you are facing anything like chronic illness, disability, anything like that, I hope you have a low symptom day, and I hope the world and people are kind to you today. Thank you. Bye.